Galatians chapter 5, our foundational scripture for this entire series that we're in, titled Fruitful. We are in part 5 of this series. It's part 5, right? Is it part 4 or part 5? Part 5, okay, I think I put part 4, I think that's what I sent you, but we're in part 5, Galatians 5, 22 and 23. I'm glad to see all of you. Look at somebody close to you, just say, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you in the house of God. One more again. You got to tell them one more again. Glad to see you. One more again. One more again. The teenager's like, Mommy, what's that mean? We'll tell you after church. We'll tell you after church. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law. You can be seated. You can be seated. Not long ago, probably about 3 weeks ago, my wife and I, we stopped at Chili's on our way out, Marvin. She drove. Okay, that was probably the problem from the beginning. So she's driving, we go out the parking lot to a side street, and we get to where we can get to the main intersection, and I say, hey, there's a CVS across the street. We need to stop and grab a couple things, grab some milk for the baby, and a couple other items we can grab there. She's like, cool, okay, we'll stop over there. So as she gets out on the side street, there's 3 cars in front of us, and we have to go across the street, and it's a busy intersection. You know, if you're familiar with that Wheatland area, that Chili's, trying to get out of that Chili's, get across to that CVS, it's a real busy intersection. You may have to sit there for a few minutes. So my wife, she decides she doesn't want to wait for the 3 cars in front of her, right? So we there, it's like 3 seconds, it ain't even been 4 seconds, 3 seconds there. So she hits it in the right-hand lane, and she turns, I'm like, hold up, what you doing, right? Because for us to get back to CVS, we have to go all the way down the street and make a U-turn. So by then she realized, you know, you're right. So she swerves real quick back into the Chili's parking lot, right? So I look over my shoulder and I see, guess what? The car that was behind me has now gone across the intersection. So now I'm like, look, do you now see that the car that was behind us is now, they went through the intersection, and guess where we are? We're back where we're starting. And guess what? Now we can't even get back to the side street because it's like 4 cars in front of us to even get back to the side street. We had to start all over, and it took us even longer to get across the street than it would have if we would have just waited the first time. Guess what fruit we're talking about today? Patience. No, not Dana, patience, okay? That's not the fruit we're talking about. We're talking about the fruit of patience. And I don't know about you, but I believe that nothing can frustrate a human being more than waiting. Am I the only one? And it's because of the culture that we've built, brother. Everything is about getting it as quick as possible. Now, you don't even have to wait at the restaurant no more. You can just go on the app, order your food, go in and pick it up. You ain't even got to go wait in Starbucks line no more. You know, 10 people in line at Starbucks, all you got to do is what? Go on the Starbucks app, tell them exactly what you want. I want the tall or the venti caramel frappuccino, light on the cream, and extra drizzle, okay? P.S. I said extra, capital extra drizzle. Don't cheat me on my drizzle, right? And all you gotta do is pay for it right there. Your card is already in there. And guess what? Even when you get in there, you don't even have to wait in line. It's just sitting on the counter, right? 20 people could have took it. It's just sitting on the counter. You walk in, you grab it. That's what we've created, this culture of I want everything now, right? Even a doctor, we don't want to go to the waiting room no more. Why? Because it's painful. It's painful going to the waiting room. So what do we do? Now we got the teletype, right? We just FaceTime the doctor. 11 o'clock at night, let me FaceTime my pediatrician. Hey, I just want to let you know my baby coughing. Okay, turn the phone to the baby. See the baby? Call for the doctor, baby. Call for the doctor so he can hear. Call for the doctor. Why? Because we don't want to wait. We'll have to wait till the morning. Then we got to call, and they're like, you can't get in until 10:30. So we've created all of these things to allow us to gain things quicker. Why? Because of our frustration with waiting. And you know what's the crazy part about all of this? Is for some odd reason, God has decided not to join our party. It don't make no sense. Like, God, do you not understand that we don't like waiting for anything? Do you not understand that can you not create some And that's frustrating because he's the only being or entity in our life that does not give us the option to get it ASAP. And if we're honest with ourselves, most of us are frustrated because in some area of all of our lives, we're waiting on God. In some area, we've lifted up something in prayer, or God has promised us something specifically for us, or we're in the scripture and we took a promise and we've sent it up to God, and we feel like God has confirmed that he's going to bless us. He's going to heal you of your sickness. He's going to bless you in your marriage. He's going to restore it. He's going to bring your child back off the street. He's going to bless you with a promotion. Your business will flourish, but we're waiting on it, and it's frustrating to us. Am I the only one that's there right now? Only 7 of us will be honest because we're afraid that if we raise our hand, God's going to see that we're frustrated. But he already knows it. He knows your heart. He knows your inside. He knows you better than you. So he knows when you're mad at him. If you've ever been in a relationship long enough, guess what? You know when your boo mad at you, right? They ain't even saying nothing. The way they just sitting on the couch, like the way they hip turn means I'm mad at you. The way they shoulder turn, if you know them long enough, that means that I'm mad. When they sitting in the car and they turn their shoulder a little bit toward that window, you know. Marvin, if you don't know your girl by now, you just need to keep studying. I can come over there and help you out a little bit though. But you know your mate though, right? And guess what? God knows his children. So he knows, maybe you didn't raise your hand and say you're frustrated, but guess what? He already knows why, because the way you're treating him right now. Wow. Your frustration is causing you to treat God with resentment. Wow. So today we want to talk about patience. Why? Because it's a blessing. There's a benefit to being patient. And today we want to use the same kind of format that we've used, and I may stick with this if it works for the rest of them. And we'll talk about the basics of patience. We'll talk about the barriers of patience, and we'll talk about the blessings of patience. Before we get into the basics, I want to read this scripture to kind of like, you know, throw an alley-oop and get us in there. Colossians 3:12. It reads, since God chose you, he's talking to you, if you're a believer, born again, accepted Christ, to be the holy people he loves, you must. What does must mean? It's something you gotta do. Yeah, gotta. G-O-T-T-A, gotta. Right? Gotta do. Must clothe yourselves with tender-hearted mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. I love this verse out of so many that I read about patience, and it stuck out to me because it says, you must clothe yourself. Yeah. What does that mean? Some of other versions say, you must put on. When I think about clothing yourselves, guess what? Whatever you put on, everybody around you can see it. Look around and look at the clothes that some people around you got on. Right? Look around, just look at them. And some of them, if you like to say, I like your outfit. If you don't say, don't wear that again. Okay? Right? But whatever you wear, Dante, everybody can see it. Right? So I wanted to show you what Paul is trying to tell us when it comes to these different fruit, specifically patience, that when people see you, they ought to be able to see the fruit. Wow. Wow. That's it. If I'm clothed, guess what? Whatever I'm wearing, you can see it. Yeah. And I gotta ask you a question. Do the people in your life see the patience in your life? If I want to do a survey with your kids, Paige, what would your kids say? Would your children say that you're a patient mom? No, my mommy does not have that fruit. And Pastor, I appreciate you for preaching to my mommy and daddy because they have no patience with me. If we did a survey of spouses, does your spouse say you have the fruit of patience? Or are you patient with your spouse? Huh? Does your spouse feel like you're patient with them? That's a fruit. Now that's not what I want to deal with this morning. But we'll deal with that Thursday night. Come Thursday night, and we'll deal with the different aspects of patience. But today I'm going to deal with waiting on God. Okay, so let's look at the basics, right? The big idea for this that I want you to get is that waiting on God is part of following God. Say that with me. Read that with me. Waiting on God is what? Is part of following God. Nobody is exempt from waiting on God's timeline. And sometimes you think it's just us. You think it's just you, right? When you look at other people and you see the things that they have, and you're like, it seems like I'm the only one waiting. No, guess what? If God blesses me with the one thing that I want right now, then guess what? There'll be something else I'll have to wait on. He just decided to bless that person with that first. But guess what? We're all waiting on something. When we look through the Bible, everybody had to wait. Guess what? Even Jesus had to wait. He died. He didn't get right back up, did he? Guess what? I guarantee you for 33 years, he couldn't wait for that to be over with. I'm going to be so glad when I get back to my throne in heaven. Wow. He died, and guess what? Even after he died, he still wasn't able to make it back to his throne yet and put his crown back on. He had to wait 3 days. Yeah. Everybody, from Noah building this boat, and it ain't rained yet. And then when it did rain and he got in the boat, guess what? He had to wait to get off. He don't know what all these animals. Could you imagine what it smelled like? Could you imagine? I know. Noah had to be like, okay, God, you're almighty, you're all powerful. Do we really have to wait this long to get off this boat? You telling me right now you can't just snap and the water go away? Do we really have to deal with all of this? Everybody had to wait. Abraham, Joseph, David, all of the prophets, they all had to wait on something. Nobody is exempt. So guess what? You cannot manipulate God into giving or doing anything for you before his timeline states that it's yours. Somebody shout, nobody's exempt from waiting. And patience is not just waiting, but it's how you wait. That's big, right? This is the basics. We in the basics right now. It's not just waiting, because when we hear waiting, that's all we think of. When we hear patience, all we think about is waiting. But guess what? Patience is not just waiting, but it's how you wait. How many of you remember when you were little, or if you have children, your mama said, you was like, Mama, can I have a piece of cookie? And she was like, no, you can have it after dinner. And what did you do? You go over there and you pout, right? You mad, okay? If you don't have no children, just wait for it. They're going to see it. My son is 1.5 years old, and when he don't get what he wants, he said, right? Like, where did you get that from? I have no idea what cartoon you watching. He don't go to the daycare, so he didn't get it from he must have got it from somebody in children's church. So if you got an older child that does that, me and you need to have a conversation after church, right? He gets mad, you don't, give me a cookie. No, you can't have a cookie right now. Like, what is wrong with you, right? You'll get it after you eat that chicken. And guess what he does? He waits, but he's not happy about it. He has no joy in it. He doesn't have patience. Right? And that's the way we deal with God. God is like, no, now it's not the time for you to have a husband. No, now it's not the time for you to have a wife. No, now it's not the time for your business to flourish and you to become a millionaire by 30. No, now it's not the time. Now it's not the time for you to have children. Now it's not the time for you to become the manager of your department. That's why you didn't get the promotion. Now it's not the time. And we go in the spirit. That's what we do in the spirit. Now everybody around us can seem like, we cool, like you didn't get the promotion. No, but you know what? All things work together. And then we come on Thursday night, it's like, does anybody have a testimony that they want to share? You know what? I want to share a testimony. I pray for this job. I pray for God to do this. And you know what? He didn't do it. And I learned a lesson that, you know what? I was not ready for it. And then when you go home, all in the spirit realm, right? That's not patience. If that's the state what you're in right now, waiting on God to give you what he said he was going to give you, or waiting on God to give you is how you wait. And guess what? This is the part that some of us not going to like. I'm teaching whether you like it or not. Sometimes the wait can be long.
Yeah.
Woo. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to say I hate it because that's kind of strong. But when we shout and the preacher's preaching and got too high emotionally, wide open, and then he says, in 3 days, instead of, by the time you get home from this conference, no, what he or she should say is that for some of y'all, by the time you get home from this conference, but a whole lot of y'all, it's going to be the same when you get back. I dare you to jump 3 times because in 3 days, it's not going to work out for a whole bunch of y'all. Now, a couple of y'all, it may. Slap high five your neighbor and say, it ain't going to work out this week. This ain't the week. This ain't the week. Touch 7 people and say, your blessings ain't on the way right now. It's still in the box. It's still wrapped up. You got about 8 more years before that thing gets here. Tell them, I'll wait. The problem with that, if he did that, then you wouldn't give an offering after. Because you giving, hoping that God will go ahead and unwrap that thing and send that thing on like Amazon. But for some of us, it's going to be a long time. Look at your neighbor and say, your wait might be long. Yeah, it doesn't matter how holy you are. Your wait might be long. It doesn't matter how much your tithe is, your wait might be long. It doesn't matter how much you give in the annual giving campaign, your wait might be long. It doesn't matter how much time you spend in prayer every day in your prayer closet. It doesn't matter after you finish praying, you look down and it was just water all over the place. You're like, ooh, God, you get that? Just in case you can't see it, let me take a picture of all this sweat. Jesus, I was all up in the spirit. And let me text this to you so you can hold this and remember that when you're trying to figure out who you're going to bless. I want you to remember that day I was sweating in the spirit praying, calling your name out. That may not get you the packet the same day. Because even some of the greatest of our faith, men and women of God have had to wait. You don't believe me? Watch this. Abraham. What did God promise Abraham? A son. He promised him a son. Do y'all know how long he had to wait? 25 years. He got a promise. Some of us mad about something God promised us 2 weeks ago. We ain't got yet. It's been 2 years. God, you promised you was going to do this for my business 2 years ago. It's been 2 years. Where are you? And God is like, you need to go back and read about Abraham. Yeah. I had a plan for Abraham that was going to change the entire world. And it took 25 years for me to get to it. And guess what? He tried to do it on his own. Yeah. Caused a whole lot of problems. And that's where some of us are right now. Wow. God gave us the promise. God told us what he was going to do. But instead of us sitting back and waiting with faith and trust, now we find ourselves in a position. Abraham hurt some other people. He created a single mom who had to leave. And the son wasn't able to grow up with his father. Why? Because Abraham's wife couldn't wait. She started looking at the situation and she was like, you know what? Maybe God, forgot about what he did because it's been a little while since he promised. So maybe we need to just go ahead on and maybe we'll give God something and he'll just bless it because we don't want to wait for him too much longer. 25 years. Let that marinate. 25 years. Now he tried to do it on his own, but one thing he didn't do was give up on God. Right. Now one time during that 25-year wait, did he say, you know what? I ain't even serving you no more. And some of us, we found ourselves there. Some of us, you're struggling with that now. Is this even worth it? Is coming to church even worth it? Because I've been waiting on what God said he was going to give me and bless me with for a couple years now. Should I even keep coming? Should I keep giving? Should I even keep trying to work on my marriage? Should I even keep trying to get healed and trying to get whole? Should I even keep striving and working on this business even though I know God told me this is what I was supposed to do? I'm just going to give up on it all, and him too. It can take a while. Who else? Who else besides Abraham? Joseph! Joseph had a dream. Guess how long it took? 13 years. 13 years. Can you wait faithfully for 13 years? You're like, well, shoot, that's better than 25 with Abraham. I'll take that over 25, God. If it's an A and B, well, wait till we get to C. 13 years. And guess what? He had no idea what was going to happen in that 13 years. He had to go to prison a couple times. He had to be lied on to even get the promise. Are you ready to give up because you're in a state of prison right now? That's part of it. That's part of it. The pit was part of it. The prison was part of it. Was part of it. Being lied on was part of it. That's what made him. Right? Don't walk away from where you are while you're patiently waiting on God, because everything you're going through right now is part of it. That's what we need to get there. And we'll deal with that a little bit later. Abraham was how many years he had to wait for the promise?
25.
Joseph was how many years?
13.
And my favorite, Caleb. Caleb. He was promised that when he made it to the promised land, that he would get his own piece of land, however many acres or whatever. Little sis, he was 40 when he got that promise. He was 40 when he received the verbal promise. When he actually received the property, guess how old he was? 80. 45 years, and guess what? He was faithful to God the entire 45 years. So I'm not going to sit here and hype some of you up and say, you know what, if we turn around 3 times, if we jump up and walk around the church 7 times like we walking around Jericho's wall, that we're going to receive everything. Guess what? No, for some of us, it's going to be a long wait.
Yeah.
Can you be faithful while you wait? Can you keep giving while you wait? Can you keep praying while you wait? Can you keep fasting while you wait? What is that? That's what patience looks like. The ability to wait while you're trusting. The ability to wait on God is rooted in trust. Why did they stay holding God's hand? Why did Abraham stay holding God's hand for 25 years? Because he trusted. Why did Joshua stay holding God's hand for 13 years through all the stuff he went through? Because he trusted him. Why in the world did Caleb stay serving faithfully in the army of God for 45 years? Because he trusted God. Patience is rooted in your ability to trust God. All right, that's the basics of patience. Let's look at the barriers. 3 barriers that cause impatience in our life. 3 barriers that rob us of our ability to wait with trust. Number 1, self-imposed timelines for God. And I believe that's probably the number 1 reason why we're impatient right now, why we're so frustrated because God hasn't done it yet, is because of our self-proposed timelines for God. We can become impatient when things don't come in our planned time frame, and guess what? God does not work around me nor your time frame. I know we don't like it, but God does not work around that. God does not care about that plan that you wrote out when you were 18 years old. Listen, the Bible says, write the vision. The problem is, we're not writing the vision, we're writing our desires. Do you know what a vision is? A vision is something that you see because God showed it to you. nice. Okay? So you cut out a picture of a wedding, and then under there you put the date. By 30, I was gonna have a house. You cut out a picture of the big house with a white picket fence, and now you got a small house with a metal gate fence, and that thing leaning like you have three-wheel motions, right? Okay? What happened to the vision? No, it was never a vision. It was just your desire. And guess what? God does not work around that. It doesn't matter what I write, okay? And listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I learned this about 2 years into our ministry, and I'll share this with you. And maybe this will kind of change your perspective a little bit when it comes to like writing your vision, right? So I had this like 20, 30 this like 20-page document for the church when we started. It's called a prospectus, right? If you ever know what you're doing when you start a church or a business, you're gonna have something like that. So I had like my first 2 years timeline, right? You know, like year number one, you know, we would be averaging like 100 people, like year number one. And yeah, we're still in year number one now, waiting on that, okay? And then like year number two, we was gonna be at like 175, bringing in this amount of money. And then like year three, we was gonna be like at 250 people, 2 services, and all these other different things. And I was gonna have a chauffeur that was gonna be taking me from the campus on the south side of Dallas to the campus. No, it wasn't that detailed, but I had all these 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year marks. And guess what? I'm still working on the 1 year numbers in year 5, right? Because that wasn't my vision. That wasn't the vision that God gave me. And then guess what? Some of the things were probably part of some things that God gave me, but guess what? I put them on my timeline. I put the 150. I believe that there are certain heights that we'll reach, and there are certain numbers that we will reach, but the problem was I put them on my timeline. Yeah. I said, this is what I want in year 1. And here's the thing. Why did I even want those things in those timelines? Wow. But don't worry about why I want it. Why did you want the thing that you want in your timeline? Yeah. Why did you want to be a millionaire by 30? Yeah. Was it so you could fund houses in Africa and build wells in other countries? Is that why you wanted to do it so fast? You was like, God bless me to be a millionaire by 30 so I can build all these. No. What was your motivation behind that? Why did you want to be married by 24 so bad? Why did you want the house, the white picket fence, and the BMW by 30? So why did you want that so bad? What was your motives behind it? And we created that timeline on when we would be married, when we would have the house, how far our business would be, how far our dreams would be, how many kids we would have by this time. And all along, God is sitting up there like, ooh, that's nice. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use that for your next door neighbor because that ain't your plan that I got for you. Wow. God does not write his script for your life based on your desires for your life. Wow. He writes his script for your life based on his will for your life. Yes. And the reason why some of us are frustrated right now is because God has chosen not to take my script and sign his name at the bottom. God does not fall into the category of copyright infringement. All right, so that's one barrier of patience, self-imposed timelines for God. Ooh, the second one is good, especially in this age. Comparison. Yeah. Ooh, that'll make you frustrated at God. When you're looking at other people and what they have, see, social media will mess you up. Listen, sometimes you need to take a break off social media. First of all, half of it ain't true. You want what other people have, and they don't even have that. I remember they was talking, they were like, Kim Kardashian went to this big thing. She had like posted a picture of somewhere in another country, and I'm pretty sure she probably got like 100,000 likes and all these comments like, oh my God, I love you, I wish I was there with you. And then come to find out she just took the picture, she wasn't even there. So we find ourselves envying other people and what they have and what that does. It frustrates us, especially now when we see people our age who already have the things that we want so bad. Like, God, I went to college with them. Why do they have everything that I want? And now you're frustrated. God, I Because you're comparing yourself to others. Because you see what somebody else's marriage appears to be. First of all, guess what? Looks can lie. You can make that, especially on social media, man. You can make that thing look real good on social media. Baby, let's take a picture, come sit on my lap, wrap your arms around me, and let's take a selfie. Okay, selfie done? All right, get off me. And don't talk for the next 2 days. Post that thing on social media. I got eyes for only her. And then everybody, hashtag goals. Oh my God, I want to meet you one day. And if you got a glimpse inside that house, you be like, Jesus, I was just playing when I prayed that prayer. Is it possible that I can take that prayer back? I don't want to be like them at all. When you see broken vases and dents in the wall. Like, God, I'm sorry, I don't want that. I'm just playing Jesus. Okay? You can make that thing look real good. And we're frustrated with God comparing ourselves to what other people have, and then in reality, some of them are not even happy with what they have.
You're right. Wow.
Don't let comparison cause you to envy others and what they have, which leads to your frustration and impatience. So what do you have to do if you find yourself in that situation? Cut off what's causing you to be frustrated and causing you to be envious. If it's social media, cut it off. Just cut it off for a season and purify yourself, right? And forget about what everybody else has. Or if it's co-workers or whatever, and it's somebody always bragging about their new house and their new spouse and all their kids who getting A's and your kids can't even get C's, just stop talking to them about it. When you see them, just walk the other way, because you already know she's about to tell me about how smart her kids are. He's speaking Chinese and he's 6 months old. That's all she gonna want to talk about. Ooh, girl, you ain't gonna believe it. My 1-year-old woke up this morning and was speaking Spanish. Baby, that was gibberish. Okay? You got people like that. And then you looking at your kid and your kid getting C's. You're just trying to help them get B's. Right? You know what you got to do? You know what? I can't talk to you today. What's wrong? Nothing. I got a phone call to make. You just got to cut your, y'all, it may be comical, but guess what? Those are real life issues that are causing us to be impatient, and we're like, God, what's going on?
Yeah.
They're blessed with this type of stuff, and their children are doing this, and their spouse is doing this, and they're flourishing in this. But God, what's going on? And guess what? God, they don't even serve you.
Yeah, that's good.
They don't love you like I love you. They don't give like I give. They don't sacrifice the way that I sacrifice. They don't even go to Bible study. I'm tired. I sacrifice. I do all of these things. But them, it's a barrier of patience. A third one is faithlessness. It's taking so long that I begin to lose my faith in what God said. And that's one of those things where, as believers, many of us, we would never tell another person that I'm losing my faith in what God said that he would do. And that's what Sarah was. That's what Abraham's wife was. Because if you go back and read that story, it was not Abraham's idea to go try to make God's promise come to pass. It was her idea. She was like, you know what, Abraham, why don't you take one of my maids, go have a baby with her. Maybe that will be the promise. Maybe God will take that and make it the promise. It wasn't even Abraham, but it was her. She began to lose faith in what God said he would do. So if you're in a place right now where you're trying to manufacture God's promises in your life, guess what? You may be in a state where you've lost faith that God can do what he said he would do. Why? Because he hasn't done it in your time frame.
Wow.
It's not that he can't do it. It's just that it's not the right time.
Yeah.
I gotta say that at least 3.5 more times. It's not that he can't do it. It's that it's not his time. It's not that he can't do it. It's not his time yet. All right, we're almost done. Let's look at the blessings of patience. Y'all cool? Y'all still with me?
Yeah.
The blessings of patience. One is I will be complete. That's all I got for the blessings of patience. Is I will be complete. James 1 and 4. Write it down. Go back and meditate on this verse this week. But let patience have her perfect work. It means complete. Have her complete work, that you may be perfect and entire, that you may be complete and whole, wanting nothing. Listen, some of us are a mess because we won't wait on God.
Help us, Lord.
That's what's wrong with us. That's why we're so jacked up. That's why we keep getting in these messed up relationships, because we won't wait for God to tell us who the one is.
Yeah.
That's why nothing is going right on any job we have, because we won't wait on God to tell us to move and what job to take and what position to apply for. We're messed up because we won't wait on God. That's why we keep losing stuff. That's why we keep losing houses and losing money, because we keep spending it and buying things and getting things that God did not tell us now was the time to get, because we won't wait. We're in messed up situations. But the writer James said, let patience wait so that God can do what? So that he can complete you and so that he can make you whole. That's why he hasn't given you the spouse yet, because he wants to complete you before he gives you to somebody else. That's why he has not given you the promotion yet, because he wants to complete you so that you can manage other people, so that you can lead other people. The reason he hasn't gave you the blessing financially yet is because he wants to mature you so that you can handle the money. Because right now you can't even handle the $35,000 a year job. Why are he going to bless you with the $65,000 a year job? He says, I just want to complete the work in you. And guess what? When I understand that the reason I don't have that yet is because he's still working on me, then guess what? I can wait with trust. When I understand that I'm waiting for him to finish making me over, then that's when I can still praise him, and that there's no ought on the inside of me. There's no anger at God on the inside of me, because I understand that God, you know me better than me. When I'm complete, guess what? I can handle the temptations at the next level. That's what happens when I'm complete and whole. I can handle what the devil throws at me. If you go back and study Job, and you read that, God said, go, test him, do everything but take his life. But guess what? God knew that Job was wholly complete, and he could handle what the devil was going to throw at me. So the reason why you don't have it, because there's some devils that come with every new level.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And God loves me enough that he won't put me on a platform that I don't have the ability to stand on. Somebody should praise God for that right there. That he loves me enough that he won't give me what he knows will destroy me. Why would you not serve a God who will protect me from me, who will protect you from you? Somebody's patience is growing right there. Somebody's like, okay, God, you know what? I changed my prayer. Don't give it to me before the end of this year. Give it to me when I'm ready. Don't give it to me by my 2019 timeline. I want my business to be here. I want it to be there by July and be here. You know what, God? Don't give it to me until you know that I can handle it. Don't give it to me until you know that my marriage can handle it. Don't give it to me until you know that I can keep loving my children even when the blessing comes. Don't give it to me until you know that it won't impact my relationship with you. Last thing, when I'm complete, you know that I can handle the blessings on that next level. Patience now is just a little bit easier when I can say, God, your timeline, not mine. Your will, not mine. I trust you. I believe in you. And I believe that when we wait, God will do what he said he would do. Amen.